Hello and welcome back to the NR2003 Boner Cup Series here at the historic Memphis Raceway Park. Race that has been hosted in the Truck Series and the Bush Series for quite some time, but now it's the Boners racing here, and it's going to kick off the in-season bracket.
The bracket that we've got here is about as exciting as it gets, and I want to start right at the front of the championship points. While they're seeded 15th and 18th in this bracket, Eric Almirola and Elliott Sadler are the two highest point sitters, and they're going head-to-head here today in Memphis. There's going to be a whole lot of fighting, because I think whoever wins this matchup is going to win the whole tournament.
Maybe the most exciting matchup in the entire bracket is Garrett Smithley versus Cole Witt. The clash of titans here in the Boner Cup Series. This matchup will have very big implications on the entire bracket. Could Garrett Smithley or Cole Witt go all the way?
No.
Well, someone else who's kind of used to going all the way in brackets is Ty Dillon. Kind of surprised everyone in the 2025 season. Almost making it all the way to the end, but unfortunately got beat by Ty Gibbs. However, today he does have some tough competition from the Joe Gibbs Racing driver of Eric Jones. Well, he's been in a little bit of a slump, so maybe Ty Dillon could recreate that magic from last year. And now, let's send it over to the Blue Chew Droner. Get you through the starting grid. We're starting up front. It's two Fords, Brian Vickers and Trevor Bain. They'll be looking to have an early advantage in this in-season tournament. Behind that is two drivers who are kind of used to Xfinity racing, Eric Jones and AJ Allmendinger. Still looking for a win in the Boner Cup Series, however. Behind that, Todd Gillen in the Generator Paints team next to our favorite driver at the Benedetto. And next up, Eric Almirola, championship contender, next to Don Hunter Newaychek representing SpongeBob. And behind that, an unusually high qualifying position for Justin Allgaier, next to Keith Reagan.
Starting in 11th place is Michael McDowell. His matchup in this bracket is Travis Quapple. And alongside him, Austin Dillon. Next up is Travis Quapple, one row separated from his opponent, Michael McDowell. And alongside him, Harrison Burton, who goes against the number 5 seed, Regan Smith. Then we have Carson Hocevar, seed number 16 in this tournament. Alongside him, he will be racing Eric Almirola. As we said, it's Elliott Sadler. Then we've got Jermaine number 13 of Ty Dillon, and one driver that's not in this tournament, but won a Bush race here back in 2002, it's Scott Wimmer. And to round out the top 20, it is Ty Gibbs, last week's winner, and alongside him, Daniel Suarez, who will be going one-on-one with David Stremme.
Behind them, it is two winners on the season, Reed Sorensen and Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Then it is Scott Speed in the 82, and to his outside, Timmy Hill in the B-Dubs car. Then it's Casey Atwood telling you that Ram is back, and to his outside, Corey LaJoy. Then it's Justin Haley in the Spire number 7, and Daniel Hemrick in the College 31. Then Josh Berry still filling in for Sam Hornick Jr., and to his outside, winner on the season, Marcus Ambrose in the Hertz car.
Next up, Shane Van Gisbergen going up against Danica Patrick in the bracket, two drivers kind of known for road courses. And Cole Witt going up against Garrett Smithley. Behind that, we talked about her, Danica Patrick in the GoDaddy car, next to Regan Smith. Behind that, two drivers not in the bracket challenge, but still welcome to see here in the field, Noah Gregson and Lyndon Castle. Behind that, Ryan Priest in the Yak 47, next to BC Mears. Next up, making his second start of the season in the BK Racing number 23, Joey Case, next to Josh Bawicki.
And as we look outside the top 40, both drivers with a tall mountain to climb, David Stremme starts alongside Garrett Smithley. And right at the back of the field, the Phil Parsons, number 98, it's Josh Wise.
And now, let's send it over to the command.
And here to give the command to start engines at Memphis, it's tow car legend, Morgan Freeman.
Gentlemen, start your engines.
Alright, fantastic command as always from the Boner Cup Series people. What do we expect is going to happen here at this kind of flat track at Memphis? Hasn't hosted racing in quite a while.
I come down to a lot of the same short track tropes that we see. There's going to be a lot of beating and banging.
With 3 and 4, pace car will pull that hard left turn into pit road and to the Geico restart zone. And we're green.
Good launch for Brian Vickers already. I think he might be clear the 6th already. Yep, he is. AJ Allmendinger's going to attack Trevor Bayne immediately.
Gonna fill that hole.
The bottom getting a way better restart, it seems. AJ vying for second. Bayne holding out on the top as Vickers leads the first lap. AJ Allmendinger's clear for second.
Yeah, but Trevor Bayne's still stuck on the top, so he might lose a spot to Todd Gilliland, Eric Almirola, maybe even Justin Allgaier, Michael McDowell.
And the pre-race has been all talk about the in-season tournament, but we're still looking. AJ Allmendinger in second, Almirola in fourth, nearly fifth now. These guys are still thinking about the chase, still thinking about a win to lock them into the postseason.
Yeah, we kind of have a decent mix of people. I feel like some of these guys would want to focus on the tournament. Someone like Brian Vickers already has a win. Todd Gilliland already has a win. Someone else, Trevor Bayne, Michael McDowell.
Well, we talked about how valuable a win would be to the drivers not in the chase, but for the drivers in the chase, that is an additional 5 playoff points that could go a long way, especially for someone who isn't typically running up front, like a Todd Gilliland.
Yeah, or a Brian Vickers, hasn't won since Dover.
Yeah, but he is holding steady here, and it's been relatively clean so far. See, Corey LaJoy has dropped 2 spots. The back has definitely taken up a lot more. You see Cole Witt has been put behind Garrett Smithley even. That's big.
That's your pick. That's your pick to win overall.
Yeah, Garrett Smithley, he's going to win the bracket.
Yeah, 3 wide in front of them. That's Casey Mears, Joey Gaze, Josh Wise, Daniel Suarez.
Look at Joey Gase. He started last. He has tore through the back part of this field. What a run for the 98 so far.
Austin Dillon hitting.
Oh.
Dillon.
Maybe an issue for that car. Hard to tell if that's scheduled or not. He's the only one.
That cannot be scheduled.
Yeah, Austin Dillon, before the race, he was signing autographs at the Bass Pro Shops Pyramid here in Memphis. A lot of fans here for him today. So that's disappointing.
It's going to be great news.
The fans are going to get to see him for a little bit when he's in the pits.
Great news for his opponent in this bracket. Although Austin Dillon wasn't really there to begin with.
Yeah,
Bayne has finally settled into turn. Yeah. Yeah, Trevor Bayne was by the Bob.
Coming out of the pit, so whatever issue they had seems to be fixed.
And I think he got enough distance to not immediately come out into traffic. It's about a straightaway there.
He's going to be scored as 1 lap down. So, yeah, if there's a caution, he would be the free pass, lucky dog, wave around, whatever you want to call it. Harrison Burton kind of struggling for speed in that 21. That's good for his opponent.
Yeah, Harrison Burton up against Regan Smith. They've been kind of close together.
So I guess
Reed
still
made his way out of
surprisingly
that.
close, yeah. Josh Balecki up here as well.
Josh Blicky.
Ricky Stenhouse Jr., David Reagan.
It's hard to pick out an ideal line here. I think it is the bottom.
I think it is the bottom, but the top does seem sort of usable.
Yeah, we can take a look at Shane Van Gisbergen here. It's not the exit, but middle of the turn.
Fighting with his
He's
teammate
holding on.
Daniel Suarez.
Suarez is going to get the better of him there, and he's going to be put against fellow Supercars alumni Marcus Ambrose. I think we've seen them battle a couple times this season.
Yeah, Ambrose right down against that wall. Closing that gap and gaining position. And a big dive into turn one to seal the deal.
Dan's going to try to clear Shane Van Gisbergen. Or Ty Gibbs, rather.
Josh Wise still picking him up and putting him down. 98 stronger than you'd think.
Yeah, maybe some Penske power under that hood. Penske really good at flat tracks normally.
It's always good to see those underdog teams run well in this series.
Especially someone like Josh Wise, who we hardly ever see. Always shows up to qualify, rarely makes it into the race.
Someone else kind of struggling is Travis Quapple, going against Michael McDowell, who's in the top 10 pretty comfortably so. Oh, I said that. He's going to spot to Hostevar.
It doesn't look like too bad of a day to be a Ford right now.
I think Hostevar is actually beating his opponent of Ricky Stenhouse Jr., which is a bit of a bracket upset, considering how they've both done this season.
Yeah, so the number one seed of the bracket is Reed Sorensen, who all he needs to do is beat Scott Speed, who doesn't seem like the hardest thing in the world to do. So, see Scott Speed here, currently running in 18th. There's Reed Sorensen.
Yeah, Sorensen's got his own battle trying to hold off Justin Haley. Both drivers locked into the chase.
Dylan making a move on Justin Allgaier in that 48 car. Definitely think AJ Allmendinger closing on that 84 a little bit, but it will be hard to pass him.
Yeah, and I think we've talked about it beforehand. AJ Allmendinger, a bit of deja vu with a number that he used to drive for and a teammate he used to race alongside.
It makes you wonder if he would want to go back at some point.
Well, AJ's been a long-time Corlick driver. Seems to like that team, just not quite getting that win that he needs. But today could be the day.
Also his golfing buddies.
That's all that matters in racing.
See Justin Allgaier making the move back on Ty Dillon. He's going to put him to the top.
This is the run that the 48 team really needed. They have been struggling this season.
Yeah, I don't know what's wrong with that 48 car, but just no speed, not even top 35 in owner's points, so can't qualify for races.
And it's not what you'd expect from a team like Hendrick Motorsports.
Yeah, but to be fair, Casey Mears hasn't done that much better. He is top 20 in points, if I recall correctly. But still a bit of a far cry from usual Hendrick antics.
Yeah, looking at the points now, Casey Mears 23rd in points. He's a while away from that playoff bubble, nearly 100 points out.
Yeah, and as far as brackets are concerned, actually,
Miz
I
is
thought that was
fighting
a
Gillen,
caution.
so right now it's a losing battle.
I thought that was a caution, but no, car's just going slow. I think those tires are finally wearing.
Yeah, interesting to look at how these
Evident on
drivers
touch
are racing
lines.
on track. Of course, every point counts, but when you have to factor in that there's 32 drivers fighting amongst each other in their own battles, you're going to be a lot less forgiving when there's other cars around you.
Yep, and that's what those bracket drivers want to do. They don't have time to play around with someone that's not even fighting for anything. Someone like, for example, Justin Allgaier.
Yeah, Reed Sorensen not been able to get past him just yet.
Yeah, number 1 seed, though, so... Did good
Yeah,
in
we've
his
just
qualifying races.
passed a third of the way through in this race, so pit stops you would
Speaking
think
of
are coming
which,
soon. There we
Wow, you
go.
called it.
yeah, timed it perfectly. Todd Gilliland, Eric Amarola, Trevor Bain come in. I think those are the only top guys to do so.
And look, there's a closing with the lead there. You saw AJ Allmendinger. He is getting to the bumper of Vickers soon, but they're going to have to pit, so
They
I
come
think they're
in
going to pit at the same
together.
time here.
Oh,
Yeah, they're both
AJ
going to
Allmendinger
make that
comes.
dive.
Carson
Yeah,
Hocevar,
so
Justin Allgaier. Ryan Priest looks like staying out.
they're going to leave it to the Red Bull and Colic pit crew to settle the battle for now.
Yep, I don't know if Ryan Priest will lead the lap, but yep, he does actually.
Yeah.
Yep, so staying out, also David Stremme, Justin Haley.
Remy is the interesting move for me. I think he was one of, if not the lowest starting bracket cars. This does somewhat help out Austin Dillon. He can delay his first stop by a couple laps.
Yeah, so he might be able to unlap himself on the leaders, but I don't know how much longer he can run for. So coming out to the front, so AJ is still behind Brian Vickers, but there's Eric Almirola. He's gonna jump to both of them, I think. Yes, he does.
Have to imagine, well, not sure if Eric Almirola pit or not. I think he might have stayed out. Either way, leading, or maybe not leading, he's in front of the leaders right now. Have to see where everyone shakes out.
Yeah, you can
At
see
the
the
end of this
speed
pit stop.
differential between this 3 and this 43. They're just
Yeah, there we
leaving
go.
dust.
Exit of 2, here comes Almirola.
Yep, and that should give him the lead.
And Trevor Bain's caught up to this pack for the lead now.
Almirola was one of the
Losing.
earlier cars to pit, I think. He came in with... Oh, got moved out of the way a tiny bit by Vickers. He does not want to let him get away with this one.
Yeah, Brian Vickers still only 1 win on the season, but Eric Almirola has 0.
And hey,
So it looks like
AJ
Vickers gonna
doesn't
get
have a
him.
problem with that. He needs that win to get him over Almirola.
Come to think of it, looking at Trevor Bain on the bottom of your screen right there, that was bracket implications that we just saw. He was fighting Austin Dillon. There's not much of a fight between them anymore, although he's gunning for second right now.
I think they might catch the lap car of Timmy Hill.
Dean gets his nose chopped to pit by Allmendinger. That's defensive driving from the 16. He is desperate.
That's what AJ needs to do. Even if he does not lead all the laps, all he needs to do is lead 1. He needs to be right on the bumper of that 84.
Yeah, and Vickers definitely feels the pressure. You see Casey coming off the pit lane. Well, damage to the side of that car.
I'm not sure what happened to him, but guess we move.
Yeah, we haven't seen any cautions, so it's been a relatively clean race at Memphis, but I guess beating and banging in the back where Casey Mears usually is.
How about we just saw him for a second? Matt DiBenedetto running 7th right now.
Yeah, that's our
In that
CW
new
on board.
Also, Marcus
PBA car.
Ambrose in the top 10, he was mired back in the field earlier in this race, so the pit crew must have done some miracles for that 9 car.
Oh, and actually, you talk about Marcus Ambrose and DiBenedetto, that's a bracket fight. On
Oh,
track
boy.
right now, you see it.
Some bracket implications.
Ambrose not quite there yet, and DiBenedetto not really being held up by Hocevar as it stands. Great camera shot there of the checkered stripe. DiBenedetto pulling away though. Have to watch the gap on the ticker.
Yeah, actually, I think we missed it, but AJ Allmendinger is in the lead.
Great news for AJ.
Yeah, great news for all the Colic fans.
And he's starting to put a gap between himself and Vickers already. Vickers is going to have pressure from Trevor Bain soon, so
But
we'll see if
there's a
AJ can maybe
Ford-
pull away.
There's a manufacturer teammate behind them, so I don't know if
Actually, Vickers gets a gap from the 6.
I don't know if he'll be easy on Trevor Bain or if Trevor Bain will be easy on him.
Well,
But
Trevor Bain is under pressure from a lapped car of Casey Miz right now. Miz is super close to the rear bumper.
that's
Off
a
that number
manufacturer
6.
teammate 2 to 16.
It's certainly, if anything, applying big pressure to that number 6 Ford.
It's not actually. He doesn't look like he's trying to pass the 6, but he is just sitting behind him. Definitely interesting things going on there.
Yeah, it's been relatively even between the two leaders. Here's Elliott Sadler.
Yeah, is
Going
that a
to the
risk of
bottom of
going a
that
lap
careful.
down? They haven't got up Timmy Hill yet, but as soon as Timmy Hill is caught, it'll be Castle, and then Elliott Sadler. So, nothing not what you want to see from formerly the points leader.
Yeah, you'd have to imagine. I mean, this is a huge upset. The battle between Almirola and Sadler. Sadler losing his regular season championship lead and very much at risk of losing in the first round of this bracket.
And meanwhile, going slightly back. Got Todd Gillen and Trevor Bain. They're running next to each other. See the left door of Austin Dillon trying to unlap himself.
Definitely
not?
speeding
Big
the
dive.
car.
Yeah, definitely
Lose
shows
that
his
roll
car
right
on the
away.
track right now.
Bit of aggressive driving to try and get his lap back.
Yeah, Austin Dillon is still fighting for something.
Again, just like Casey Miz was right on the bumper. That defensive driving from Trevor Bain, not going to let him have that inside. Bain already losing some distance between himself and the lead too.
And
As
here's
Casey
Mears.
Miz will...
He might
I guess
unlap
Casey Miz
himself.
is not a lap down. No, he is, sorry. He's 4 laps down, but he is going to maybe unlap himself.
Yeah, but Austin Dillon might also unlap himself on AJ Allmendinger if he gets there, which would definitely be some bracket implications.
Does this almost act as some help for AJ Allmendinger?
Maybe a tiny bit.
Yeah, to try and defend himself from Brian Vickers. Maybe a little less so here now that they're wheel to wheel.
Just let him go.
Very smart from AJ. So, I think bracket, as far as that's concerned, AJ would be beating Casey Atwood by quite a bit.
Casey Atwood, he's not had it today. Not one of the highest seeded drivers.
But he is currently running higher than his teammate, so that's worth something.
Yeah, when your teammate's second in points, that's quite an achievement, I'd say. Plenty of variables that happen every time we take the green flag, but end of the day, results are results.
So, currently Casey Mears 3 laps down, Austin Dillon 2 laps down. Casey Mears somehow got his lap back. He could pass Austin Dillon for position. But as things stand, Austin Dillon would win by 1 lap.
Crazy that the two drivers pitted against each other have been put in such similar situations in this race.
We have no idea what caused the situation for Austin Dillon. Back here looking at Matt Benedetto, Carson Elsevar, Eric Amarola. Actually a battle for 4th. Able to make a move or anything. Austin Dillon up to the back of Brian Vickers.
It's going to be a race for Austin Dillon to unlap himself. Actually, no, it's not, is it? Brian Vickers was in the lead for a solid few laps. It's been all AJ Allmendinger for the past couple of laps. That's my mistake. Very dominant top 2 this whole race.
4 seconds to 3rd for AJ Allmendinger.
That's how he wants it to be. This could... well, Trevor Bayne coming into pit.
That should be our last pit stop for everyone in that case. There's also AJ Allmendinger. Brian Vickers will stay out 1 extra lap.
He's going to take the lead and take a gamble here.
Playing a little bit different with strategy. So Carson Elsevar falls in through. There's Todd Gilliland. Oh, Danica
Patrick gliding back up onto the track.
Definitely missed the commitment cone. I think that might be a penalty for her.
We were 3 wide on pit entry there.
Danica has a mess up like that could be good for Shane Van Gisbergen in the bracket.
Yeah, that's who she's against. 2 road course aces.
Allmendinger, the leader before the pit cycle, going to merge. Wow.
Very
Party
sketchy.
perceived there between Haley and Jones.
So, if you look at AJ Allmendinger, gotta find Brian Vickers, who is still in his pit box.
I think AJ is very much clear. Saw a glimpse of him. Yeah, there we go, on the backstretch coming towards turn 3. So Brian Vickers has lost out in this fight. And Trevor Bayne, who I believe was 3rd at the time, put right into that battle.
2 more cars in pit road. So we'll see where they come out. So, as things stand, AJ would be the leader pretty comfortably.
AJ Allmendinger, he's had a history of winning at ovals, not really any like Memphis. I believe he's had Bristol, Atlanta, Nashville, definitely another track here in Tennessee.
He's going to come out just behind Josh Berry in the Penske 22. Other car not really in the bracket picture, but a caution.
That's first of the day, I believe.
Oh, the Wayland caution lights.
Yeah, there's
they're
those
used.
caution lights.
A lot of skid marks in turn 3. Something must have happened there.
Yeah, there's Danica Patrick coming in for her pit stop.
She made mistakes earlier. We're going to have to see what's happened. Well, the caution came out in turn 3. We're taking a look at Brian Vickers right now. As there we go, Joey Gase leaving pit road. And Gase is going to send it in, tag Brian Vickers, but get the worst of it himself. Into the wall. Caution lights are out, but he has kept going. So that's an interesting move and interesting caution there.
Yeah, misjudged it terribly, that 23 car.
Yeah, not great, but a driver that's not made many starts. Going to bring out a late caution, but we'd like to remind all of you that it's never too late to get ahead of the curve. We'll be right back.
Men, get ahead of your curve. Explore Peyronie's disease treatments at GetSomebody4PD.com.
As T-Mobile's new chief switching officer, I need to get the word out about how fire switching to T-Mobile actually is. How are we going to do that? I got it. Airplanes that say switch, and you throw money at them. Nope, too dangerous.
I have pigeons, and they deliver cash.
Why'd you bring birds in?
What if we have you personally call everyone in the United States?
How about you just tell people how much money they can save when they switch?
Say more.
With the Better Value plan, families can save over $1,000 a year versus Verizon and AT&T on streaming, satellite, and more benefits. Money talks. I got it. We call it the Better Value plan.
Better value plan. Yes.
I think they already call it that.
You're the man, boss.
That's already the name.
Welcome back to the NR2003 Boner Cup Series. After that late caution kind of shakes things up, but before we go green, let's take a look at some of the most interesting matchups to look out for. Yeah, so my match to look out for is Marcus Ambrose and Matt DiBenedetto. They're currently only separated by one car on track, so definitely going to be interesting between those two. Could be some fireworks.
The next battle, again, only separated by a couple cars. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. and Carson Hocevar. Hocevar, the better of those two as it stands. And he's got a lot of ground on that 17.
A potential upset is my favorite driver, Josh Bilicki. He's currently beating out David Reagan, one of the top seeds in this bracket, by one position. Reagan the 8th seed, Bilicki the 25. That'd be a major upset that's going to bust some brackets if it happens.
Yep, but now let's go back green shortly. Bit of a long caution for cleanup. I don't know why, but AJ Allmendinger is still the leader. Trevor Bain is still second. Brian Vickers is still third, and Eric Almirola is still fourth.
This is AJ's race to lose as it stands. I think he's still going to be fine coming through the Geico restart zone. We're green, and it's a good launch for Bain.
Yeah, but he's going to be stuck on the outside, so it's not going to be able to get the best run on AJ. He can try.
16 gets some help from the 84 and 41. Behind them, Matt DiBenedetto somewhat slipped off. He is racing Marcus Ambrose, who is right behind him.
Oh, but look at Reed Sorensen. Might be able to
Vickers,
send
he's
it on
there.
Brian Vickers. Vickers is there.
In four.
That's a lot to
Sorensen
focus
looking to
on.
capitalize.
Yeah, Reed Sorensen to second. That's the number 1 seed on this whole tournament.
Been having a great stretch recently, trying to look behind, see how these other tournament matchups
And here he comes to the lead at Memphis.
Did see a green car in the background. Okay, that's Almirola. I'm not sure if Stenhouse has gotten past.
Ambrose is
not.
counting to Benedetto. He knows what's at stake with that bracket matchup.
Yeah, but look at Ryan Priest making his way into the top 5.
They're both on the bottom, as is Priest and McDowell. More positions lost for Allmendinger.
Ryan Priest, known as a short track guy. Getting it done here.
Yeah,
Priest
he's currently
his battle
up to
with
4th.
Brian Vickers. And he's in the preferred lane, he's on the bottom.
And Reed Sorensen is rising away. Who would have thought?
This could be a huge upset. Ryan Priest seeded number 31 to Brian Vickers at number 2.
Oh my god, they're a bracket matchup. Oh man.
Yep, and he's
And
clear
look,
of him.
McDowell looking to go to the bottom. 6 to go.
Ryan Priest was
to
second.
I don't know if he'll have enough time to catch Reed Sorensen, but if he does, that would be an even bigger upset than just the bracket.
There's half a second
Would
in it.
be. He stormed through the field to get to second. Can he do anything in these final few laps?
See, Matt Benedetto losing a spot. Is another one to Travis Quapple. Might help Marcus Ambrose.
Quapple's trying to catch McDowell in 3rd, but I don't know if he's going to be able to do it. That's his battle.
Yep,
It's Ambrose into Benedetto now.
Oh, Ryan Priest has gained on
Here
Sorensen.
comes Marcus Ambrose.
I don't know if that's enough. Here's Ambrose to the inside.
Marcus Ambrose is going to have to go for a big dive. Oh, not there yet.
But
Still
he might
not
be
there.
able to upset
He
that
is
number
there.
32 CW sports car.
Ambrose
laps to
clear.
go.
Is Ricky Stenhouse ahead of Carson Hocevar now? I don't see the 77.
Yeah,
I think
the
he
77
is.
not in the top 10, but we gotta take a look at the front. Reed Sorensen, 3 and 4, is gonna take the white flag here at Memphis.
He came in as the 1 seed. He's coming off his best stretch of the season, and he's going to continue it, it looks like. Unless there's something dramatic that happens here, it's going to be another win for Reed Sorensen. And you wouldn't have expected him to become a 2-time winner at the beginning of the season, but he's going to prove us all wrong. Reed Sorensen, through 3 and 4, is going to win here at Memphis.
Ryan Priest will come home in 2nd. And Michael McDowell, Brian Vickers, and AJ Allmendinger round off the top 5.
And what a run for Travis Quapple. 6th. Marcus Ambrose edges out. Matt DiBenedetto.
Yeah, fought
Cole
so
Witt,
hard.
I think, won his bracket. Ty Dillon's there too. He beat Eric Jones.
Yeah, there definitely will be a lot of brackets busted after that one. Someone who is not busted, Reed Sorensen, is going to be able to burn it down for only the 2nd time this season. We'll be back shortly.
Hey man, you cut me off back there. What you gonna do about it? Oh man.
Can you feel it? The taste of Coca-Cola. Well, the race
All right,
is
fine.
over. Can you feel it? Can you feel it? Life ain't some older. The taste of Coca-Cola.
Are we good? We're good.
Right, welcome back to the NR2003 Boner Cup Series. After some exciting flat track racing, not really chaotic. We only have 1 caution. But Reed Sorensen comes out on top to be our, I think, 4th multi-time winner on the season. Though Brian Jones not full time, so doesn't really affect the chase standings that you're seeing on the screen. Bill Elliott Sadler leading all of the drivers over Reed Sorensen, Shane Van Gisbergen, And then Daniel Suarez, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., David Reagan, Brian Vickers, Marcus Ambrose, Trevor Bain, and Michael McDowell.
Then behind them, the last two drivers with a single win is Todd Gilliland, Justin Haley, David Scrummy, and Ty Gibbs. But then we have the points bubble. Eric Almirola has a pretty big cushion. He is relatively safe as long as we don't get a new winner in these next few races. However, Eric Jones is not. He is only 8 points in, ahead of Casey Atwood. Then AJ Allmendinger is 9 back from Eric Jones. Then 20 back is John Hunter Nemechek, and 26 back is Austin Dillon. All of those drivers have a shot at getting that final spot if we have no new winners. And with track, we'll be continuing our bracket challenge.
Well, it's been a while since we have to turn right and left, but we'll be changing that. We're going to the Circuit of the Americas, or the only road course in the bracket. So that will be something to look out for who can be the best at the twisties. But till then, see you next time, and goodbye.